had me a little bit confuzzled, confused, and oh, I might actually figured out why my stream lags so bad every now and again. I'm probably down throttling a little too much of my bandwidth, but it is what it is. So, effing crazy. Ice swoops in on firefighters in the middle of battling wildfires. Granted, yes, msdnc, whatever you want to friggin' say, get it out there, yada yada yada. But, I mean, we're looking at only a 3-minute, 33-second, 333, kind of cool, section here. And, I mean, the reality of it is, granted, whatever you think of an immigrant, whatever they may have done or might have done or anything else, whether they deserve to be in jail for just existing in this country, I mean, at the end of the day, we've also had firefighters, like during last year's California wildfires, that were literally convicted criminals working on battling the infernos. And they weren't stopped just for a check of their identity or anything like that. They were prioritizing the onslaught of flames that was destroying the whole West Coast. So, I think that's something that was clearly forgotten about within a year. It doesn't matter the color of their skin, their conviction, or anything else. If they are literally doing the best that they can to preserve nature, humanity, like the things that we own, our properties, and stuff like that, the officers could have waited. They could have waited, right? They could have, instead of taking a whole group of people from doing the right thing that they were in the middle of doing, objectively right thing, regardless of their history, regardless of whatever. Because again, like the point I just mentioned before, anyone starts going a deep political mode, extremist mode, right? We've even had convicted criminals that were in jail, you know, fighting fires, doing the same exact thing. So there's no just basis for how this went down, which is what pisses me off, personally. That's why I'm going to share with you, and we're going to go over it, and hopefully we don't get claimed. Let's go.
Authorities in Washington state have been fighting the state's largest wildfire nonstop for almost 2 months. It's called the Bear Gulch Fire. It's burned 9,000 acres since early July. Officials say it's only 13% contained. It is so big, they've had to rely on contract firefighters. But a group of those firefighters who were battling the blaze had to take a 3-hour timeout from their work on Wednesday. You see, their camp was raided by Border Patrol officials.
Train. I'm just going to pause. Alright, I was just also wanted to check the volume on my end and everything else before this train started barreling on through. This is just as rude as the ICE officers in this video. God damn. I swear to God, one of these days, hopefully, we were supposed to have a whole city meeting. I know this is a little tangent. There was supposed to be a whole city meeting on this freaking horn, because this thing goes on all day, every day, even in the middle of the morning and late ass at night, depending on whenever this line's running. And it's going like 5 miles an hour, not even. Granted, probably takes about 20-30 feet still for it to break completely. Or maybe not even that, actually. Maybe I'm exaggerating at that point, because I haven't went out there and fucking measured it. But, like, come on. You don't do this through every other town. You don't, like, literally, I've seen the other towns over the same line. They don't do this, especially on busier crossings. Much, much busier crossings. So, I guess they just don't like this town. I don't know. Anyways, it's gone. So let's go.
And they were lined up and told to show their IDs.
Yeah, so what the fuck, man?
Nice.
Got hit, guys.
That's all right. Tribal member. Yeah, we got pulled over by ICE. Crazy, dude. We got members from the tribe of Umatilla, Cayuse, and Walla Walla. This is crazy, man. Look at that. Post it up. We have a different crew over here. guess. La migra.
You heard people on the scene claim that at least some.
So, I mean, to take people that are actively fighting an emergency, which granted, I mean, I wish the dude freaking turned around and looked at the fire, whatever the hell was going on. I mean, I don't know the status of what was going on, which is maybe the little bit of, I mean, the guy's there, he's stating what he's stating. Obviously, there are people confirmed that are not immigrants. They were here before even the United States was established. So that's one fucking aspect of this whole thing that pisses me off, is the fact that part of this was these officers genuinely had to have profiled in some way, shape, or form to just have swooped in, had to check everyone for their identification, right? Because that's what was at least stated. That's what we're seeing right now. And what we got to do is derive the facts of this. The facts from the ignorance, from even the reporting from, was it Chris Hayes? Yeah. So, it's just the fact that this happened, right? We have video. None, this, regardless of whatever he's saying, we have video, okay? We have one of the people reacting to it. We see, obviously, ICE officers. They have everyone pulled away from doing what they were doing. In the middle of the woods, you see them chopping down trees and making a fire break. Because that's what you do, especially wildfires. You make a fire break and put enough distance between where the fire is spreading to a potential other area that could cause more damage. You put a fire break, you put a gap so the fire can't just spread, that the ashes won't be blown far enough into it to spark a fire on the other side of a road or any other path that is there. It's thinking ahead. So to take time away from firefighters that are actively preparing to set up a fire break to prevent the spread of a wildfire that could easily, as we've seen for the past couple of years, could easily turn into a 100-acre fire, destroy so much property, destroy so many trees, mind you. These trees aren't going to grow back in an instant, which is, I think, another thing that people forget, not even to sound like an environmentalist. But the fact that all these things that produce oxygen that help support our atmosphere, hundreds of acres are burnt down to the ground, and they don't just pop right back up, they're gone. It affects our atmosphere directly. So in order for this few-minute thing to occur, which exponentially increases the chances of even more devastation, regardless, they could have waited. They could have waited. They could have waited much, much further. They could have seen the fire. They could have tracked the fire. They clearly know where these people were at any given point in time. So there was no reason, no logical, just reason for them to be doing this. The only reasons that exist in this case is because the orders came from up top, and obviously whoever's ordering doesn't give a fuck. Simply doesn't give a fuck. As inhuman as possible, because they are not considering the things that I took like 3 seconds to consider. And if you're not able to take the time to even think about it yourself, then maybe you're part of the problem. I'm sorry, but if you do take the time and you can genuinely understand, just regardless of where this is sourced from, because I mean, the other news organizations, and I haven't seen anyone else reporting on this yet, right? I mean, maybe Vosh will do it later, or maybe Hassan, obviously. I mean, this is fundamentally inhumane. It's fundamentally ignorant, based on the reality of the situation itself, the people that are involved, and all because of their possible immigration or asylum status that was just retroactively denied, while they're trying to literally save lives and property and nature, things that, you know, are important to future generations, more so than if that one individual or two individuals are there. And mind you, like, they're obviously doing something good. They're is credibility to that? We've had convicts, people in jails doing the same thing, no problemo. So, what the fuck, man? Why do we just not care about humans anymore? Is that what ICE is all about? I mean, it seems like it, especially with this. This is just icing on the cake at this point. Besides them possibly, well, I mean, there was an instance where they were shooting at somebody that was running from them and almost killed one of the passengers. So, and it's only going to get worse because the more that these people act inhumanely, then the less humans want to interact with them at all, and they will do more and more to get away from them. That's just logic. It's critical thinking. Asmund, come on, fucking wake up, my guy. Use your brain. Stop being stupid. Like, people need to ask themselves what the right thing to do is. And in this situation, if whoever was higher up, or even these individual officers, because they all have willpower, they could have all just decided, we're gonna wait, instead of risking their $50,000 bonus, which I'm sure that's held over their heads in some way, shape, or form. Who knows? I haven't joined them, and I do not want to join them. I don't want it to be made to have to join them, as some people have been. You know, it's funny the amount of power that a piece of paper has over people these days. When there's other ways to survive, but here we are. So let's go.
Some of those firefighters were Native Americans, indigenous volunteers. They got raided. State officials confirm it. Now, those Border Patrol officers ultimately arrested 2 of the firefighters. It's not clear why. According to reporting by the Seattle Times, one of the firefighters
said members of the crew were not told to take video of the incident. So already infringing on the Fourth Amendment right, because it doesn't matter if you're federal or state government. The amendments apply to the entirety, as the United States Constitution and the amendments are self-understood and like literally stated within the articles of the Constitution, and I think it was the 10th Amendment. We'll go over it again later, or just go read it yourself. Is the supreme law of the land, regardless of what any motherfucker wants to say about it. Unless they wanted to have an amendment put in, they have to go through the process, which clearly our Congress cannot do at this point, because they're so stun-locked and retarded. It's bad. It's bad. It's just objectively bad. And this is just inhumane. This is by definition of the word. Look it up real quick. Fucking throw a dictionary, people, like dude in chat was trying to do with me. I mean, yeah, it seems friggin' stupid, but clearly people don't take the time to fucking read anymore. Inhumane, without compassion for misery or suffering. Cruel. Definition of cruel, because cruel and unusual punishment is defined within the Constitution. So, definition of cruel, and I go over this in my constitutional analysis. I'll link it in the description. But willfully causing pain or suffering to others, or feeling no concern about it. So, I mean, you can be cruel to animals. You can be cruel to nature. What they are doing is objectively cruel to nature, because they are knowingly, as there's active firefighting going on to prevent more suffering and pain, whether it's on a plant or person or persons or society, you know, just objectively, no matter how you look at it. And not even just that, it's inhumane toward the people that you're arresting, because you're arresting them just for their position, like where they are, like wrong place, wrong time. It literally, that's all this is wrong place, wrong time at this point for this generation of immigrants. Or these, well, the past couple of generations, maybe even further, because they've retroactively destroyed the immigration process. So even, I mean, all of our families, it does, if they don't like you, if it's not because of the color of your skin, if they just don't like you, or if you dissent, I mean, they're already finding other ways to go after you, which I'm even concerned, because stating things like this, it's a risk, right? Especially if for whatever reason this blows up. If anyone even gives a shit. But we should give a shit. I give a shit. This is bad. History shows this type of thing is bad. Just objectively. And when you look at it, regardless of wokeness or political belief or whatever, we just look at the objective facts of what's human and what's not, what's cruel and what's not, with the actions that have been taking place with these individuals, these people that are taking the time to fucking do the right thing, compared to these individuals that are claiming that they're doing the right thing, but really they're doing the wrong thing, this is one of the many, 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 many examples. Because I'm sorry, but immigrants are people too. They're humans too. Just because they don't believe in the same thing as you, or they don't look the same as you, or they don't speak the same as you, doesn't make them any less human. And that's where the misunderstanding lies, and that's where the chaos is coming from. It's just that simple. Where, granted, yes, there's people that you'll disagree with, there's people that you're not going to like. That doesn't mean you have to threaten their existence, their livelihood, or anything else, especially if they're not threatening yours in, like, any substantial way. Because the real threats, especially right now with certain industries, as we're seeing with our current college graduates in the job market, and I don't have to say it, but it's, the replacement with AI, especially in the data tech field. Which, I mean, that's inevitable, but it's obviously going to end up in manufacturing. It's going to end up everywhere. And it's going to only exacerbate these issues further while more and more people blame everyone else. It's the whole Spider-Man meme. Because it doesn't matter the color of your skin, what's underneath the mask. You're all Spider-Man. You're all fucking pointing at each other, blaming each other, when the real issues is literally the ones on top that are trying to cut you out in one way or another. It's clear as day. It's not even conspiratorial. You just take a few minutes to fucking think these days. Smoke a joint, maybe. I don't friggin' know. I'm not condoning that, even though it is legal and is getting deregulated further. But then again, there's pros and cons to that. There's pros and cons to everything and anything. Experience in life itself is a risk. Going outside is a risk. But that's the whole point of experiencing life, is to be able to experience, to be able to live. That's the whole idea of human rights. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Right? It's enshrined in the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. Those are the two foundational documents of this country for the last 250 years. And just people are too retarded to fucking know how to read a dictionary and to know what any of the shit means. Supreme Court has its hands tied with dark money. Congress has its hands tied with dark money and dumbasses. And then the executive branch is all being replaced by dumbasses. People that don't give a shit. They don't care about you. They don't care about people. They don't care about the government. It's so obvious. And then you want to sit there and it's like, oh, where's my piece of pie? How soggy your day? Like, bro, they're just gonna kill you off anyways, eventually. Yeah, sure, you get another, like, couple years, and then they're like, oh, well, you're breathing too much air. Bye-bye. Throw you out this fucking space coop. That's hyperbole, but then again, with the way that things are going, almost anything's possible at this point. I mean, Murphy's Law, right? Whatever can go wrong will go wrong, so the more that you allow to go wrong, the more that can. Look what's happening with DC, look what's happening in California, look what's going to happen in Chicago. Which, granted, there's Louisiana that has a lot of issues, there's Tennessee that got a lot of issues, there's Kentucky that got a lot of issues, a lot of these countries with this accent got a lot of issues. Granted, there are some good people there, good, family, fun-loving people there. Hell yeah, brother. I'm on your side, but if you start having that hate, start threatening my existence, start threatening to take away my rifle, which, ugh. That's... Then I start sounding like them. Maybe you. It doesn't matter. We're all people. This is why we have the documents that founded this country. This is why there's so many iterations of democracy through history. Because democracy has been for the people, by the people, fundamentally. It's just when certain things are involved in the background that are allowed to be involved, or that are misconstrued forcefully with ignorance, like blatant ignorance, for fuck's sake. Like people that don't want to think, people that don't care, just fundamentally don't care, and you allow them to be in power. People that state that they don't give a shit about how you feel or anything. It's not even about facts at that point either, because they just want what's best for them, not what's best for you. But clearly, these people want what's best for them, which is a big $50,000 lump sum paycheck as well as their 100K. Where these people just want to fucking eat. You know? Big difference. Big difference. The incentive is just there. And it's like, these people just don't even want to go to jail at this point, and half of them were here before this guy was.
Firefighter said members of the crew were told not to take video of the incident. You risked your life out here to save the community, the firefighter said. This is how they treat us. Another firefighter said they were denied the chance to say goodbye to the detained crew members. I asked them if his...
How? See, this displays the full inhumanity, the lack of care, the lack of understanding, the lack of wanting to understand an individual for who they really are. This proves the profiling. This proves the discrimination. This proves just the unnecessary hate and threat to existence of these individuals. These people that are trying to preserve the existence of nature, of animals, of you, of your property. They care way more about you than the person wearing the ice suit ever will and a face mask. And if these people aren't going to do it, then I'm sure they're going to design robots to do it eventually. And it won't even matter the color of skin anymore. It's going to just be whether you're flesh or bone and whether you're fucking metal and cold.
His family can say goodbye to him because they're family and they're just ripping them away, the firefighter told the Times. And this is what he said: "You need to get the blank out of here. I'm going to make you leave." As the Times notes, it's unusual for federal border agents to make arrests during the fighting of an active fire, the largest in the state of Washington, especially in a remote area. In fact, a Biden-era policy bans most immigration enforcement at natural disaster sites, but here we are.
And he makes some good points. Well, there we go. This is when I've had moments where my stream like break. Oh, no, never mind. It was just being weird. What the hell happened? Oh, no, never mind. I'm being weird. I'm not understanding what the hell I'm doing at this point because it's frustrating. It's frustrating, it's mentally draining, it's mentally exhausting. So this is why I'm going to report on it here. And again, the fact that biggest forest fire in Washington, you know how far up north that is? You know how cold that's supposed to be? It's probably dry as shit, which makes sense why, the fire would be spreading as it is. But still, it's between that and ignoring precedent, ignoring ignoring literally the government itself, ignoring the branches of government itself, willfully, out blatantly. Just because it's someone of the opposite party. At this point, this is just a civil war. It is the civil war at this point. It's just happening over the internet. It's happening over social media. It's happening vocally before it starts getting physical. And as more and more of these options get exhausted, as more and more limitations on speech, our humanity, our characters, our egos, who we are, what we believe in, especially when it comes to right versus wrong, just fundamentally in regards to existence, as more and more gets understood about things, when people start thinking more and more of why you're seeing people disappear here and there, you start asking more questions, obviously. You're wondering, oh, why are they getting sent to Uganda? They're not even from there. And then you start seeing the people that just genuinely don't give a shit, and then obviously you're going to have an opinion. You're going to understand that the system is rigged in some way, shape, or form, just like how my system keeps breaking every other 5 seconds. I swear to God. Technology, man, it's never built to last either. Nothing. Democracy was designed to build to last, but humanity itself has fundamentally destroyed that through its own innate human error, through greed, through just all the bad things. So let's finish this up.
Trump and his supporters, Vance says this all the time. They constantly push this line that you either care about Americans or you care about immigrants, not both. But it's racist garbage. We're an interconnected society of human beings who depend on each other to survive and thrive. And there's
he states it right there. We're human beings. And everyone seems to just forget that. Like, how does someone that just wants to live a better life end up worse than someone that's murdered like 20 people? Why? Or someone that's done unspeakable things to someone of a different gender? Especially if they're a child. Like, when has that become more acceptable? Clearly within the last, decade, unfortunately. But it is also acceptable decades ago. But there's a reason why so many battles were fought and so many families were torn apart. So many people were hurt. So many conflicts and struggles existed. Is because the infringements on existence and people's life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness was experienced. And things were learned. Things were written down for ages. For history. There was a whole reason that certain documents were preserved. That documents were even made in the first place. That I'm even making these videos is to at least have some sense, some humanity be left on the internet. So go check this video out. I gotta tend to things in my own time, real life. But let me know down below what you think. Regardless, yeah, MSNBC, whatever. This is the only one that's covered this. And it doesn't seem like it's artificially generated. There's collaborations and correlations or corroborations, whatever the word is. Corroborating evidence, there we go. That shows that this is real. This is reality. It's not, AI at least hasn't gotten to a point yet where it's just making up videos like this. But that's another topic that we're going to have to address, that I've already addressed a few times, so go check out my other videos on the channel. I'll have a video just talking about it, discussing this, and maybe someone with more time to edit videos will do something better and all that good stuff. More digestible for the average viewer. As, my thing's suitable definitely for podcasting, definitely put on the background, but regardless, I'm doing the best that I can. If I had more time to be quick, maybe if I start relying on AI to make videos for me and do editing, but I don't even have the money to to afford that. As we've seen yesterday, ChatGPT, even if you want to use that, you gotta pay. It's so stupid. I get it. It costs energy, it costs money, but it's gatekept at this point. It's gatekept. It's gatekeeping humanity out of accessing the future. That is what it is. So I don't know. But let me know down in the comments below. Go check out the thesis. Go check out all the other videos I have about these topics before I get deemed a extremist threat of some sort and people start being absolutely hyperbolic toward me just for having thoughts, for expressing my First Amendment rights. Before that's burned to the ground as well. I don't know, man. I got a lot of real concerns, and like you, I just want to survive. I just want to survive the test of time, and I want to at least live a happy life, or make sure that my kids can have a happier life than me. So never forget the significance of humanity.